In today's video, we are going to leverage ChatGPT to create an amazing marketing ecosystem for your business. We are going to start from your social media posts all the way through to making a sale. I'm going to break down how we're going to use ChatGPT for each stage of your sales funnel and also including your email sequences. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nicholson, and this channel is about helping you to start, grow, scale an online business now with the help of AI. So it just goes so much faster to get really amazing results. Don't forget to download your resource below. There's always something to download in my descriptions of all my videos, so go and check it out if you haven't checked out any other videos. Depending on the video, it might be a different resource, and we do swap them out and change them around. So it's always something fresh and new to download. Anyway, let's get going. Hit that subscribe button and let's start with the very first thing, and that is going into ChatGPT and creating all the assets or the elements that we need to actually plug into your sales funnel. Let's go. As you can see, I use ChatGPT 4.0. I think that's a free version. I'm not exactly sure. I do pay for my ChatGPT. I do think you get better results with the paid version. But if it's not in your budget, at least you can start with the free version and it will help you. Okay, so let's get into the details here. As you can see, I started with this chat because I don't want ChatGPT to add any of the stuff that I'm doing here to the memory, because it is going to add then to all my other stuff and I don't want that. All right, so let's start with the very, very basic thing. And what is the very basic thing when you want to really excel your marketing in your business? You need to speak to your ideal client in detail. So how do we do that? We need to identify our ideal clients, and we are going to use ChatGPT to do so. Now, I'm going to just have some random ideas here. Just bear with me. I try to make it fun and I make it laughable in between. Some of these ideas actually might be really great business ideas, and others might be like, what the heck, Joy, did you drink the Kool-Aid? So the idea that we have today is we are going to start a strawberry business. I am starting a strawberry business. Who would be my ideal client? Now, keep in mind that when we go deep into ideal client, that's like an hour-and-a-half workshop. It's actually something that is paid within courses and things that we've got. It's, by the way, very affordable if you ever want to dive really deep into your ideal clients, because there's massive prompts. The prompts itself is very long, but it will give you really great results. But it really dive in deep into your ideal client. Now, I'm going to just do a very broad overview so you can just understand how we do all of this and what's the elements that's needed to actually build out the marketing ecosystem that we talked about here. All right, so let's then go into the avatar persona. So this is great. You get an understanding. We are going to go to direct consumers like retail, grocery stores, cafe, restaurants, food manufacturers, etc. Now I'm going to say, who is the ideal client avatar for this? And now it's going to give us more detail. Now, when you say avatar, you can also say client persona, however that looks like, but now it's going to actually give us details on the person. So 35 years old, I think 35 is quite old. I would definitely go younger. The thing is about strawberries is you can really go anywhere from like the age of 16 to 85, right? Because everybody eats strawberries. But it also just depends on how deep you want to go into all of this. Now, I've got a massive amount of data that I would copy and paste into here, or not data, sorry, prompts that I would paste in here to actually get more detail from this. But let's just go into the next part of this. And I'm going to now ask ChatGPT, based on Sarah, what would be a irresistible offer? So now, again, it's not going to probably give me everything I want, but it's definitely going to give more detail. And also, you really do not want to sound like ChatGPT when you paste this stuff onto your sales funnel or your social media or your email. So there's also ways to authenticate it. And a very quick tip that you can do that is if you have already written documentation that you can upload into ChatGPT, or a website or YouTube video links or whatever that is, anything that you can upload to ChatGPT, so ChatGPT gets to understand how you speak, the way that you interact with things, etc. So the best way for ChatGPT to get to your authentic voice is you feed it as much information as possible, thousands and thousands of words. Eventually it will nail it down. So Yeah, and it takes like an hour. If you have a lot of good documentations, you can just upload. Personally, I did all of my blog posts prior to ChatGPT, so I did all the stuff that I have written without any AI assistance, and that has helped ChatGPT to really create my ideal brand voice based on that. All right, so now you can see here the pricing structure is following. So remember, let's go back here. So what we have here is you have your lead magnet, which is maybe a free thing, or in this case, you're selling strawberries. So let's just pretend you have a lead magnet, and the lead magnet might be the benefits of strawberries. It could be about the antioxidants, the aging things, or it helps you not age. I don't know if that's a thing, et cetera, right? So there's just so many benefits about having berries, and that could be your lead magnet. So people are like, oh, I need to actually eat more strawberries. It's strawberry season. Let me go buy strawberries. And then your upsellers be like, hey, but we actually deliver strawberries, or we have a subscription selling strawberries, or whatever that looks like. Or if you don't want to do a lead magnet, which I would recommend you do because you can grow your email list doing that. But if you don't want to do that, then I recommend at least get a Tripwire funnel where you maybe sell 2 punts of strawberries for like $5 or whatever to get them in. And then you can build your email list like that. And then an upsell could be like a subscription or whatever that is. So let's see what ChatGPT recommended here for us. So you can see a weekly delivery of fresh strawberries. There's a pick your own farm experience. There is a superfood recipe guide. There's a digital download as a bonus. Look how crazy you can go. Guys, it's just selling strawberries. Just think out of the box. There's so much that you can do, right? So now I've got your irresistible hook. So the hook is that something that hook them in. So they're going to go, oh, I actually need this. It's a limited time offer. You always have to give a call to action that's going to make them think like, okay, crikey, I need to really get onto this now, or I'm going to lose out. Then you have, why does this offer work for Sarah? Because it aligns with the values, the convenience, the family bonding, health focus, sense of community. All right, so that's really great stuff. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say to ChatGPT, help me to build out a value ladder based on this irresistible offer. And then let's see what it says. Because remember, I'm just going to flip to the other screen while it's doing that, because your value ladder is the different stages of your sales funnel. So it's your upsell, your downsell, your upsell, whatever that looks like. Heck, you can even have a course on teaching people how to make strawberry recipes. I'm sucking, but anyway. All right, so that's your value ladder. So that's the different phases, and this is how we do this. Now, again, I do have a course that goes into extreme detail on all of this to help you. It's a 3-day challenge, but it actually breaks it down into one day. It's about an hour at a time that we dive into everything. All right, so now we've got here entry-level offer, low price, low commitment, core offer. Remember, you've got your core offer. And if you don't know, if you're not familiar with marketing, you've got your core offer, and then on your core offer, you have your upsell and your downsell. But you always start with your core offer, because if they don't buy the core offer, then you have an opportunity to downsell or upsell. Okay, so it's always good to start in the middle. And their downsell could be, that's why I always recommend a Tripwire funnel, because you actually make money. And if they don't want to buy that $7 or $10 thing, you can have a little pop out that says, oh, sorry, if you don't want it, you can say, okay, this wasn't for you, but do you want to download our free recipe guide? Or in this case, if they do buy, and then you can go, oh, do you want to join our monthly subscription? So I'll show you how that looks like in the funnel. So now you can see here, we've got entry-level product, we've got a core offering, and then we've got the mid-tier and a high tier. Now you don't need to have all of these. This is a lot, right? Especially if you're growing strawberries. I think this might be a little bit crazy. And I don't know how many strawberries you have to sell for it to be a $2,500 annual subscription. That is next level strawberry farming. Yeah, you get the point. So you can see here, and this is really amazing. It actually shows you the summary of your value ladder, right? So you can see exactly where you want to go with this. What we're going to do now is we are going to go to the software that I recommend that you use to build out your marketing ecosystem. The reason I choose Go High Level is because you have a one-stop shop for everything. It's $97 a month, and you can do a funnel build, you can do your website, you can do, even if you have a course, you can create a client portal, which is a community like school. If you've heard about school, you can have a CRM, opportunities, sales, you can do invoicing. It really is the one-stop shop for small businesses. Once you have the software, you really don't need anything else. You can do your email marketing, you can do text messaging, etc. So I'm not going to go into all the things that is amazing about High Level because I'm a groupie and I can sit here forever talking about High Level. I've been using it personally for about 3.5 years in my business, and all my clients are on it as well. So, and there is literally millions of people that, millions, hundreds of thousands of people that are using the software. On the right-hand side, there's a button that says New Funnel. Just go to a template. You don't have to faff trying to create things. There is hundreds of templates in here. There's also a social media bulk scheduler in the software, which again, another tool that you don't have to pay for. And there is hundreds of templates in that too. The templates in High Level is amazing. They're very pretty, they're very functional, and it just makes sense to use them. All right, so I'm just going to scroll down here. Let me try and find something that I can think we can use for strawberries. And also on the, oh, that one is a good one. But also on the left-hand side, you can see it can go into health, wealth, wellness, holidays, whatever, right? There's so many templates. Again, there's hundreds of templates here. So just choose whatever you want to use. And there might be a color that you really hate, but you like the layout, etc. So, I mean, it's always things that you can change. I would recommend choose a layout that you really like. And then the colors you can always swap out because it's easier to swap out colors than to swap out layouts. All right. And then go continue. And then we're going to add that in. Now it's going to open the sales funnel for us. Now remember, we've got that value ladder. So the value ladder goes to each step of the sales funnel process. I'm not going to go into crazy detail here because this is a long process. But if you spend maybe 2 or 3 days, maybe over a weekend, you can easily build all of this out in a weekend. When we did this for clients, well, we still do in our agency, but we spent like a week or 2 to deliver a project because you're still figuring out what is going to be your value ladder, your irresistible offer, all of that stuff. Now we do it within minutes, right? And then we just build everything out. All right, so what the first thing you're going to do is you're going to put on your logo. If you don't have a logo, you can go to DALL-E in ChatGPT here and you can create a logo. I've got a different video, I'll link it below, on how you can do exactly that. And yeah, go and check it out. There's some prompts and things there on the other video. So now what you're going to do is here, we're going to use the title here. This, what you see, you can see here, it's got a call to action, it's got the logo, it's got the picture, or in this case, it's a little video. This is called your shop window. This is very important because on your shop window, you always have to have a call to action, okay? Because it's the first scroll of your page. Scroll. All right. Now, the thing that we're going to do now is we are going to go back to ChatGPT and we are going to look at the very first thing. So your entry offer here is fresh strawberries sampler basket. Now, you don't have to give things away for free. I mean, you can maybe make it like a 50% discount or something like that, right? I would probably recommend not to do it free, especially for produce, because it is expensive and you do need to make your money back somehow. But at least if you can just break even when you have like packages that you can give away. So I'm just going to say like $3 baskets or whatever that looks like, or a punnet. Don't think strawberries comes in baskets. All right, a punnet, and then there you can do your pictures there. I would recommend that you use your own pictures, especially if you grow strawberries. Now, if you have a faceless business, then you can use AI to create images. But if you want to build a brand, I do recommend to use your own images, especially if you sell to consumers. But you don't always have to do that. Anyway, so this is the description: a small basket, organic strawberries delivered to Sarah's door or available. So this is the value ladder, right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say to ChatGPT, please create persuasive copywriting for a sales funnel. If I can type today, funnel based on the value. Oh, that is terrible typing. Value ladder. In the style of, if you want to do that. So I would recommend you use a style of somebody. Now I've got my people, I'm not going to call them out on here, that I use, that I model, that I've actually been using their techniques for many years in my business. Now AI has just been making it a lot simpler. So now it's going to give you the landing page, which obviously this first page is the landing page, is where they land. And then the next page would be then the upsell. Remember, you've got your first upsell, you've got another upsell, and you don't need to have all these crazy things, right? Ideally, you know what is amazing? If you want to get to a good amount of money in your business, you need to sell $1,500 product. You sell 100 of those, well, Bob's your uncle, that's a good amount of money that you're making. If you don't have that, you can have a monthly membership of like $100, or you can sell a $100 course, etc. But you don't have to have all of these amazing things. I would recommend, if you've got a good team, then you can have all of these, because the more things that you have in your business, the more you need to actually monitor it and check it out, and also make sure that it is updated and all of those things. So when you go so crazy to do all of these offers, these value ladder builds out, then yeah, I do recommend you definitely need at least 2-3 people in your team. All right, and then you can also easily afford it because it's high ticket, right? Okay, so let's go into the first part here. So the first one says here that the headline discover, So I love the word discover. I don't like the word unlock. So discover is my go-to for doing, what do you call it? Sorry. Copy. All right, so discover the freshest organic strawberries delivered straight to your door. Obviously, this you can change out for a picture. Then you can have a book an appointment will change. This will then be buy now. And the subject could be avoid limited time offer. Just remember, you do want to make sure that they understand that this is not always going to be around forever. So this is the first page. You don't have to use the entire template. If you feel like this is too much, you don't need to have that. You can also have some reviews. If you already have reviews of people, you can make this pretty on Canva. If you go into Canva, so the tool that I use, if you go into Canva, you say in Canva that you just type in reviews or testimonials, then it will give you a ridiculous amount of templates, and you can use one of those. Or what you can do, which is nice about Go High Level, is if you connect your Facebook and you connect your Google My Business, you can actually pull in your reviews here. So you can see there's a review button. The only downside to doing this type of review is if you have bad reviews, then it will come through on here, right? So anyway, so this is then basically what you have on the first page of the funnel. So I'm going to save that. So we're going to come back then to that maybe later. And then the next stage of the funnel is your upsell. So this is then where we're going to go out of this completely. So now pretend we finished that up. We've taken out all the copy. We've pulled it out. We've swapped out our pictures. We've made sure the buttons are working. So that's the tech side of this that I'm not going to go into. But again, we do help to do all of that for businesses. So then the next page is then your upsell. So the upsell then is take your strawberries experience to the next level and the farm experience. Now, typical thing that you would put on the top here is when you do an upsell on a funnel, and this is just some marketing geek out things, is you have a progress bar, and then you can say, wait before you go. And this could be the thing that you've got there. Let's say it is, let's say it's red, and then advanced is where you can build out the fun things on this. It could be like maybe at 80%. And then what you're going to do here is maybe have a video if you're good in video. If you don't want to be in the video, especially if you're going to have something like a strawberry farm, you can show them the strawberry farm and just use your iPhone to record it, have it vertical and record, or sorry, horizontal, and record your strawberry farm and have a voiceover. That will entice them to go like, oh wow, they've got so many strawberries, it looks amazing, let's do that. Let's do the subscription. And then what you're going to do then is you're going to create, I'm just going to say subheadline, and then you're going to paste in all of those things. So this all really depends on how you're going to go around with this, if you're going to do all the upsells, etc., etc. And then you can have your button there, and the button will then purchase the stuff. Now, there's obviously the tech side in the back end that you have to build this in. I'm not going to go into all the crazy details because that can take up to an hour, which we obviously don't have on this video, but you get the concept, right? each step of this is what you're going to build out in your funnel. And then the other most important thing that you need to do is create me an email sequence. Create me an email sequence for the first funnel page. If they don't buy, the next stage. All right. So this is then where you have your different email sequences. Now, while that is working out, remember what we have here. So here you've got your lead magnet, which in this case will be like a $3 punnet of strawberries. And then you have that. So if they upsell, depending on how you work this out, they might not get this email sequence, but they will get this one. Or if it's an upsell, they won't get any of those because they will get this one. Now, all of this is built out in high level. So you can see here now it's building out all these amazing email sequences. It's generally like a 5 email sequence that builds out. Now, you can also create social media posts, and you can create a newsletter weekly, etc. You can create blog posts on strawberries. So all you need to do is really make sure before you do any of this stuff, you really have to dial in your ideal client and your brand voice so deeply. So when you create all of this stuff, that it actually sounds like you. And look at this, within minutes, you have so much content at the fingertips. That's amazing, right? And yes, you don't need to sound like a robot, just dial in your voice. All right, and then we've got that. And then once we have all of that, I'm going to go back to high level. You understand the concept of the funnel. I don't want to make this video too long because we can sit here for hours and we do not have hours on here. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to automation. And then automation is where you're going to create this workflow. And this is where things can get very crazy. So the workflow is, I'm going to just use an example, create a recipe, and then from the recipe you have then start from scratch, import a campaign, Again, if you sign up with me under my link using high level, I will give you my workflows. I basically have a snapshot with all the good things that we use, and you can take that snapshot and you can use it for your own business. And this is what I've showed you here. This is a snapshot that we've got. So this is crazy because if they don't buy, you've got an email sequence. If they do buy, you've got an email sequence. And if they upsell, you've got an email sequence. So that entire workflow is built out in here. So I'm going to just go into, I'm trying to get one that I know is going to be complicated. So you can see how deep you can go with this. Let's just do this one. I don't know what this is going to be, but this is using ChatGPT history. So again, that's crazy. So between Go High Level's most powerful automation and the ChatGPT input that you've got, can you imagine? You cannot go wrong with your marketing and your business. The fun thing about all of this is this can take you a few days to create, and then you've got everything. It doesn't need to take weeks. It doesn't need to take months. How easy is this, right? So now what you're going to do is you have this trigger. This trigger is a form that you submitted on that website. Then from there, you're going to obviously have, well, this is like the ChatGPT stuff if you want to go that far, let's pretend. And then you've got your welcome email sequence if they bought, if they haven't bought. You can see here the trigger link is wait, if they bought. Like there's so much, like the workflows that we've built out before is all these spider webs. It's crazy. So you really can dive into the most craziest detail, or you can keep it as simple as possible. And when you start out, I do recommend keep it simple because you want to launch imperfectly, get the stuff out there, and then you can scale and hire people and do what you need to do. Thank you for watching. I really hope this was helpful for you. And if anybody can benefit out of this video, please don't forget to share this with them. And I'll see you in future videos. And don't forget to download your free resource below. I'll see you in the next video.